You're about to reinvent yourself. You're literally about to reinvent your life. You're about to enter the whole new stage, and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel really optimistic, and it's going to be the biggest amount of energy that you will have that you didn't have in a long time. This is what November is going to bring to you, my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Aquarius. My beautiful Aquamarinis, I said this many times, it really depends from sign to sign what we normally go through. It all depends on our personal experience, it depends on our spiritual journey, it depends on our karma. But when it comes to looking at the big picture, when it comes to stepping away from the situation and look at it from a completely different angle, every single Aquarius had the considerable amount of negative energy to go through, to deal with, to work with. This is so important because as more negative energy you had to deal with in the last 36 months, the more negative energy you had to work with within the last 36 months. And I'm saying about things, I'm talking about things that made you feel like uncomfortable. I'm talking about things that you had to do, you had to focus on primarily just to get on with life, It's the responsibility that kept you going. It is the security, personal security and power, future plannings and things like that kept you going. This is the moment that it's going to be so important because it's all about the actual reward. I have already said before that Aquariuses, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, you are most certainly about to go on a very, very interesting level when it comes to your life and when it comes to your spiritual journey. Which means that on another hand, karmically, you have reached a really important stage, which is just going to become an absolutely mind-blowing, literally mind-blowing unfoldment of events to you, my gorgeous Aquamarinis. It's going to start literally from the beginning, from the very first day of November 2019. But throughout this month, this is going to be absolutely remarkable events that you're going to have that are most certainly going to surprise you in such a way where you're going to start feeling very optimistic about certain problems, very optimistic about certain negativities. And this is what it means when your spiritual journey reaches the actual culmination process, reaches a very important process which is going to start in November, and it's going to continue with this absolutely mind-blowing unfoldment throughout December 2019. In November, you are going to make a very important decision. The decision that you're going to make, it's actually going to be quite significant on the 26th of November 2019. The decision that you're going to make on the 26th of November 2019, it is going to go a long way. It is going to be the beginning of something very important. It is going to be the beginning of such a significant process in your life where you are going to rediscover yourself, rediscover your happiness, and rediscover energy that you didn't have in a really long time. Some of you have noticed the drainage of energy that you might have had, like it wasn't as good, the energy wasn't as significant as it would normally be, by actually not maybe achieving as much as you wanted to achieve, like the energy wise. So this is all going to return, and once this return to you into your life, this wonderful, absolutely mind-blowing, beautiful bright energy at the beginning of November, the very first thing that you're going to be able to notice, the very first thing that you're going to be able to feel, is the actual energy, beautiful, optimistic energy, but it's going to be very strong, it's going to be very powerful, and it's also going to be very bright, much brighter than normally. And what is that going to, what effect is actually going to be caused within you is just like a really good feeling, really optimism, and also the best way to use this absolutely sacred divine energy is just to basically quickly deal with things and issues that you don't like, that you don't want, that have been creating you problems and negativities and low situations within the last 36 months. Now you will be able to look at the chance from a completely different angle, because you will be having the wings of an angel, which are going to take you much further than you would normally go away from your own life. And what does that do to you? It provides you with like an absolutely sacred opportunity to feel your life, to sense your life, to get your life, you know, from a completely different angle, from a completely different, you know, point of view. And this is going to be everything. An absolutely remarkable starting point that you are going to have on the 26th of November, the decision that you're going to make. It's going to be something so good, something that is going to change your life, something that is going to inspire you so much. I'm not saying that your life is going to change on that particular day. Oh yeah, everything changed. No, baby, no, my babies, no, my bambinis and my bambinas. No, this is just the beginning. It is the step in the completely new direction. It is the step in the new dimension that is just going to become a highly vibrational time of your life. And now, as every day, each day as it goes, you know, after this moment in time, each day as it goes, you know, by, the more interesting it's going to become when it comes to you having certain ideas. So it's going to be one step at a time indeed, but most certainly the beginning of a very important process in your life, because it's purely the actual direct results of your, you know, outcome of your hard work and of all the negativities and all the hard focus that you had. And karmically, you were doing something really great. You created something really good. You made some kind of good option, good realization, good decision not that long ago. When it comes to the dearest people in your life, when it comes to the people that means to you so much, there was a decision that was made not that long ago. So karmically, that was very hard to deal with, but you knew that this is something that it needs to be done. Now, this particular moment in time on the 26th of November 2019, it's also going to be the direct result of that karmic influence, that karmic impact, that karmic like energy that you actually created, because you did something really good, but it wasn't as easy for you to make those decisions. So that's why all this together, it's absolutely going to bring you an amazing perfection, but also the recognition about yourself, about your life, that you will be able to understand. On another hand, it's the greatest honor that you're going to feel, that you're going to have, because somebody is also going to be praising you up at the same time. And this is just going to come through in an absolutely perfect, exact moment in your life. On the 26th of November, you are going to be very open-minded. Your mind is going to be able to stretch so much more. Your mind is going to be able to stretch so much further. You're going to find yourself like feeling quite weird, quite strange, that a part of the whole sorts of like a different dimensions are going to create this particular effect within you. But the most certainly something very important is going to start here. Something very important is going to be born here. A new beginning, which is just going to change your life, and it's going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, I cannot explain how important this moment in time is going to be, because what you're going to start, it's going to have like a long-term effect and long-term unfoldment. But the biggest unfoldment of this event is actually going to happen in July 2020. Whatever you start, whatever you do, whatever you begin on the 26th of November, this is going to be the second stage of that particular journey in July 2020, when there is going to be an absolutely mind-blowing unfoldment of this. It's the greatest time to create new seeds, to plant new spiritual seeds, because the actual ground is going to be in particular spiritual and in particular fertile at this very moment in time. An absolutely incredible moment in time, which most certainly indicates the growth of a personal power and courage, which is going to lead towards the new mind-blowing beginning indeed. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous aquamarinis, and it's for November 2019. So it's for you, my gorgeous aquamarinis, and it's for November 2019. It is the number 21. That is your number when it comes to numerology. It's very powerful, it's very spiritual, and it's a very highly vibrational number. It is not only about the actual recognition, honor, and ultimate change that you are going to have, but this is all the direct result of your hard work that is at the same time going to have direct impact on your energy, direct impact on your self-esteem. This is just part of the really big picture, where on one hand you're going to be praised up just at the right moment in time, and this is going to be the greatest honor, the greatest achievement ever. But on another hand, you're also going to be going and leading and starting and making the biggest and ultimate change in your life. Change that was needed, change that needed to happen, change that needed to shake you up to the point where you can just kind of like basically just be so grounded and realize things, you know, that you are capable of. And that on another hand is just going to make you feel very, very triumphatic indeed. And also, it is all about the reward from the hard work, reward from the hard work, reward from the hard work. It's all about the success, it's all about the power, it's all about the completion, and it's all about reaching a very important and a certain stage in your life. And also you were very clever indeed. You had these bits and pieces around that were testing you throughout, my gorgeous aquamarinis, my lord, my lord. And I say this even when it comes to the certain people in your life. They were in and out, but especially when it comes to you, my gorgeous aquamarinis, you had like a quite a vibrant spiritual journey which involved very, very often in the last 36 months, many people around you, many people in your life that were part of this testing. It was all about sincerity, it was all about testing, it was all about, you know, like maybe understanding certain things around you, understanding certain things about people, but you kept your cool and you didn't explode and you didn't go low vibration. You know, this is all just a reward from you acting in exactly the right way. If you were acting maybe differently with around the different people that were kind of like important when it comes to your life, when it comes to all this dimension and all this energy, if you acted or reacted in a different way, none of this would actually happen. So you managed to kind of maybe deal in the right way with a certain person who was like a little bit deceptive, a little bit snaky, and most certainly this is going to be a great moment in time, because you are going to be admired by other people, and this is going to mean to you so much, because this is literally the direct result from your hard work. Okay, and I really like it, because it's going towards your own prosperity, well-being, luxury. You know, there is also a very important vision that you are going to have this month, very important vision that you are going to have, and this is going to happen in a strange way, in a bizarre way. First you're going to come across somebody very unusual, very strange person, and then shortly after that there is going to be the certain vision that you're going to have. Most likely you will be able to pick up on this like a very much so like a magic and very wise and a very powerful energy. We all have a different energy, we all have a different vibration, and we come across certain people and certain vibrations, we act in a different way, in a certain ways, because it depends how this vibration, what this vibration can activate within us, activate within our energy, activate within our power. But so there is going to be that particular activation that you are going to have through somebody strange and unusual as well in November, and that in itself is going to be the great moment in time, because it's also on another hand going to make you realize some kind of realization that you wouldn't normally have. But this is so important to do when it comes to the certain patience, when it comes to the certain problem, when it comes to the certain like kind of like unusual negative situation that is slowly coming to an end. And this is on another hand going to become in another moment in time which is actually going to inspire you, but at the same time it's going to reveal something quite interesting and something quite important about your own life. I really like at this moment in time. And you know, I find it so interesting, and I'm finding it so fascinating, because through this situation you're also going to have some kind of realization through that particular vision. You know, you will have a vision when you come across that person, and that vision is just going to be everything. Not only you will be able to attach yourself to the certain part of your life, and not that long, it's not going to be that long in the future. This is a very close vision, very important, sharp, powerful vision that you're going to have about your future, and it's not going to be that long. March and November 2020 are already going to start playing a very important role when it comes to this particular energy, when it comes to this particular manifestation, when it comes to this particular power. But on another hand, you know, the realization about some kind of achievement that you wouldn't normally realize about yourself, this is going to be such a beautiful push that you're going to have. And also it's about the actual problem, the certain issue is going to come to an end, and that is going to mean so much to you, because the long ongoing problem is beautifully coming to an end, and that is going to inspire you. It's going to give you so much energy. It's going to motivate you. It's going to kind of like make you aware of certain directions in your life that you wouldn't normally have. And this is what it happens once the karma, and a very heavy karma, is lifted, and then we just find ourselves like, oh my god, on like a beautiful island, you know, beautiful island full of greenery and everything. And just before that, you were like, just like you couldn't kind of get anywhere, you couldn't see anything, you couldn't go anywhere. It was just like a darkness, you know. And this is why this moment in time is going to be really important, and most certainly it's going to bring you the whole new inspiration, the new option, and new vibration, reason to celebrate, and most certainly beautiful, inspiring feeling, and even healing that is just going to be quite significant as well at around this time. I'm just going to need to put the light on. Okay, I'm going to need to turn the light on. Sorry, my gorgeous aquamarine. Sorry, there you go. Can you see me? Can you see me? See? Can you see me? Can you see? I'm here. Hello. Can you see me? No. So basically, yeah. So this is it. This is an important moment in time indeed. So now, basically, what else I was going to say, that 20, this 21 number, it's also quite significant because it is all about the practicalities, security, the new option. It's going to float towards you when it comes to like a career, when it comes to like your life, you know, when it comes to things that you focus on, but also the confusing feeling like what you had before, something that you wanted to achieve, something that you wanted to do and you thought it wasn't right, and now it's going to be like completely flip-flop situation, because you're going to find yourself like in a surprising situation, but good, in when it comes to resources, personal resources. You've got more than you need in order to do something really important. So this is bouncing back. This is going back to the last 18 months, what you wanted to do, the certain direction that you wanted to take when it comes to you, when it comes to your home, when it comes to like a kind of doing certain things, when it comes to your security and power. Now you will realize that this is just going to unfold a new path for you, which is absolutely brilliant, and most certainly it is going to become the new beginning, something to focus on, but it's also going to put your mind to rest with those areas, those stages in your life where you thought, I want to do this, I want to do this. So this is also in itself, it's going to bring you absolutely wonderful and beautiful balance. A very important news you're going to receive this month as well. Very important news. Watch this space, my gorgeous aquamarines, watch this space, because once you receive this important news, the very important thing for me to say is to act on it as quick as you can. Because there will be a tricky situation where balance is going to feel a little bit uneasy, a little bit off, which is going to make you feel like you kind of like you've got longer than you actually think. You know, it's going to confuse you a little bit. So that's why I'm just saying that you need to just kind of react and act as quick as you can. And then the outcome and the return is just going to be absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to this particular vibration and the actual outcome that you are going to have. Another thing that I wanted to say, my gorgeous aquamarine, is, of course, it's going to be about your health. I mean, this is just so significant for me to say, and it's quite important. It's the actual liver and kidneys that it needs a little bit of your attention when it comes to your liver and kidneys. This is so important. If you can get like maybe something like a milk thistle tincture or a capsules, you know, but the milk thistle tincture I prefer because it gets into the bloodstream much quicker. You see, and also it's just so important because it's going to help with your kidneys and liver. It's going to work really wonderful, like for the actual detox, and this is something that you take just for like about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you know, and then have a little couple of weeks breaks. Then you take for 2 weeks, for 4 weeks again, and then you take a little break, and then you take a longer break. You don't take this all the time. You just take this every now and then, like when you're taking detox, when you're making detox, you know, you're doing your own detox. So this is something quite wonderful. On another hand, what else I was going to say, dandelion tea is fantastic. Organic dandelion tea, if you can drink that throughout the months, would be brilliant. And also chamomile. Chamomile is just also going to be so good for you to actually flush out the toxins out of the system, and it's going to be brilliant when it comes to your kidneys and liver as well. And one more thing, sorry, I was going to say, it's like a blueberries, raspberries, goji berries, or any berries that you could possibly buy, like organic berries and things like that, like as natural as possible. Please don't take GM, all this rubbish, you know, plastic, chemicals, ew. So you just need to make sure that it's natural fruit, you know, goji berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, any berries are absolutely fantastic when it comes to the actual filter and rejuvenation, when it comes to liver, kidneys and things like that. It's just something that is going to be rather beneficial to you, and try to stay away as much as you can from sugar, please. It's going to be vile. Sorry, it's going to be terrible. This vile effect, I mean, when it comes to you, you're going to find it it's being quite sensitive around sugar, but sugar is quite low energy. So it's just something that I would recommend you to stay away from sugar this month, and drink as much water as you can, because this is going to further help you to flush out the toxins out of the system. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, then you just need to check with your doctor, or you just need to check with your GP whether this can interact with your existing medications or not, because only your doctor or only your GP can actually tell you whether this can interact with your existing medication or it can't interact, okay? So now I'm going to start with the very first date when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aquarius. But before I do that, I'm going to Aquarius. Aquarius, raise your energy, raise your power. Aquarius, Aquarius, raise your energy, my babies. Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligned with Mars, Aquamarine is about to rise and become the most powerful in November. Para-pam, para-para-pam. This is how you're gonna feel. Just remember, my babies, you're going to be able to extend this vibration. You're going to be able to manipulate your own vibration. This is how powerful balance you're going to have. So singing, music, happiness, you're just going to go that much further. You're going to raise such a powerful vibration, and that in itself is just going to give you confidence and power and new ideas. It sounds weird? Just go for it. Try it and see it for yourself, because this is going to be the transformational time throughout the actual November, and this is the way you go with this wonderful vibration, wonderful energy and wonderful flow indeed. Because the very 1st of November is just, this is when it goes. Look, 111, very 1st of November. You see, you've got number 3, you got number 1 3 times. I mean, how powerful this moment in time is going to be. It is going to bring you the new beginning, but also something is going to surprise you. Some kind of stage of your life, it's going to come to an end, and suddenly you're not going to feel satisfied anymore. And this is going to like start surprising you, because it is just going to be on the gates of love, on the gates of emotions, on the gates of new life that it's about to start with this powerful vibration on the 1st of November. You're all going to be like, oh my Lord, you know, it's going to be good. And it's going to pinpoint down to you the moment in time, the part where you feel like unsatisfied and you don't like it anymore. This is because your karmic journey with that particular situation in your life is coming to an end, and new balanced force in your life that is just going to slowly start coming through. It's just going to start pushing you forward, pushing you further. Balance, force. New balance force is going to come, and it's going to push you further indeed. And that is just going to really become an important moment in life, because this whole new journey is about to start unfold for you. Beautiful journey, which is going to be so much so to do with your advancement when it comes to your situation. But there are going to be elements of unknown that you're also at the same time going to start feeling very much so attracted to. Okay, I really like it, because this is the moment in time when you're gonna start making very significant progress. By the end of the actual 1st of November, there is going to be beautiful, significant progress through this situation, and that is just gonna make you feel like you wanna have another action again. And this is all about the motivation, and most certainly from someone, through someone who is very successful and very well balanced. And this just so beautifully rubbed off on on you, and this is going to become evident very much so at this moment in time. I highly suggest you to get something like a black tourmaline. Look at this baby. Important to have this throughout November and December in your pocket or on your table, in your living room, in your kitchen, in your living areas, anywhere where you possibly can, because you're going to be super open in November and December, which means that the energy, you will be psychic like you normally are, but the energies are going to be even more powerful, which means that you're going to make yourself a little bit more sensitive to all these energies, because you get so much out of it, but then again it can drain you. It depends what kind of spirits and energies are going to be around you. So this black tourmaline is going to help you to protect yourself against all sorts of negative energies, of course. I suggest you to get this, and if you would like to buy it, you can get this on my website. The link is in the description below, and by buying things from my channel, you're also, of course, helping this channel as well. Okay, the second important date, of course, what is it? The 13th of November. Of course, it is going to be the 13th of November. On one hand, this is going to be very important time, because the new hope, when you think that certain situation just is not going to work anymore, it's just something is going to happen, a beautiful butterfly moment, a beautiful rebirth moment. Okay, and this is going to be so good, because at the same time it's going to surprise you, but it's also with this element of surprise, there is going to be the new force that is going to come through forward and just re-energize you like so beautifully. On another hand, what else is going to happen? Your justice, very powerful justice is going to happen on this day, because also on another hand, there is going to be a proper balance, a very significant harmony. You're going to hear about a certain progress on this particular day, and that is also going to be immediately connected to some kind of reward. But also it is just the justice, justice, something, this is more like private, this is more like personal, this is more something, oh, this is my justice, I want it. And someone wanted to be a little bit naughty, somebody wanted to be a little bit negative not that long ago, and you waited for a little while, so now this is coming through, and your justice is coming, my babies. And this is absolutely brilliant, because at the same time you're going to feel so good, very great self-satisfaction indeed, but you're also going to get a rather interesting and powerful wise advice on this day as well. This advice is going to help you what to do with a certain skill, what the next stage is going to be, what the next option is going to be, what you need to work on, what you need to focus on, where do you need to, where do you need to water the plants, which plants need the water. It's going to be important, because certainly at the same time, it is just finances. You're going to hear something about finances. Financial gain is coming, and this is going to be so good, because that in itself is going to make you feel so good, and you're going to realize, my God, anything is like possible. Anything is possible, because something is going to change your mind. Certain direction, certain option is going to become evident that it's actually going to happen in a good way, not in a negative way. Something is going to unfold instead of non-unfoldment, and now that is just in itself that situation is going to have a direct impact and result on your spiritual journey and your karma, and immediately it's going to make you feel re-energized in the sense of your own self-esteem here. And that feeling, that emotion is going to bring a new option, new learning experience, but it's so much to do with what you're doing now, what you need to expand, where you need to go further, and what you need to learn about it, because that in itself is just going to start up another process that is going to be quite significant later on. Watch this space, my aquamarinis, watch this space. Okay, what else I was going to suggest to you, to get something like a stone of an ancient Egypt, which is called lapis lazuli. Very important crystal indeed for you, in particular in November and December as well, because it's going to help you to remember your dreams. It's going to help you to enhance your third psychic eye, but most importantly, the powerful psychic dreams that we have every single night, but we don't necessarily remember. This beautiful little beauty, it's going to help you to remember. It's something I highly recommend you to wear in November and December as well. And you can also make a connection before you go to sleep within these 2 months and ask a question. What would you like the answer to? And then through this little crystal, you get like a bounce back, and you get this information travels to you, otherwise it wouldn't. This lapis lazuli comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and to buy this, the link is in the description below. And by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, of course. The third important day, my Aquamarinis, is going to be, of course, on the 29th of November, because this is when the things are going to start feeling so good. Control over situation, strength, courage, conviction, energy, determination. This is so good. Beautiful accomplishment feeling, which is just going to give you so much confidence. And I can't even explain this to you, how important this is going to be. There is a good news. There is some kind of news that you're going to hear, and this is going to be so good, because it's about your gain, it's about your problems, it's about your worries, it's about the stale stage of your life. Okay, and this is all about the advancement, what you expected, but my lord, something else is going to happen here, and it's going to take you into even advanced level when it comes to your own process. Okay, when it comes to your own progress, absolutely remarkable. When it comes to your personal progress, the 29th of November is going to be absolutely mind-blowing indeed, and that is just going to, this channel will be able to kind of like help you to recognize your abilities that you wouldn't normally recognize. Not only certain ideas that you had are just gonna like really surprise you, that they went through really nicely, but it's just certain realization that is just going to be absolutely everything, because at the same time, wise moment you're going to have, and you're going to be part of some kind of judgment, and you are going to start a certain process with some kind of a judgment, and that is going to be absolutely mind-blowing experience for you, because you're going to realize certain hidden emotions about yourself, certain practicality, but also this is going to help you, this stage in particular, to deal with those situations and make an adjustment in situation when you feel restrained feelings, restrain emotions, negativity that's holding you down, preventing you to float around like a little baby angel. This is going to change here, most certainly, and this is going to help you to not to be restrained. A significant moment in time, which is, of course, what else is going to happen? Of course, that the 29th of November is going to bring you a very significant and very powerful omen indeed. The powerful omen that you're going to have, it's going to come in the form of a bird or a cat. One of these two animals are going to appear around you. The very interesting moment in time. Letter S is going to make sense here, and number 5. Letter S and number 5 are going to make sense with this particular situation. You need to see how, you need to see why, whether this is going to be the time span, whether this is going to be something else, maybe the letters in someone's name and date of birth. It all depends. This is just going to be the part of the picture, but most certainly this omen is going to be appear around the time when something is going to be confirmed to you. Absolutely incredible, but also it's going to let you know that there's some kind of option is about to unfold, and that option that is about to unfold, it is all going to be this very sacred moment in time, because you wouldn't normally go for it, because you wouldn't have, like, you don't have a certain experience or a certain knowledge. So there is going to be the sacred bravery at the same time that you're going to be showered by, and this is going to indicate that your life is going to start changing. Maybe realization that you took a wrong turn not that long ago, but this is all going to be very easy to deal with and to make a necessary adjustment or readjustment or edit, because you will be able to connect yourself to your future much more sharply. So that is something that is going to keep you going, instead of like being held down to the stage of your life that is not going to unfold as quick as you would want to. Absolutely significant and very powerful moment in time indeed. I'm so happy for you, because you are reaching a very important stage, when it comes to success, material attainment, because not only that, but it's about the advantage, about being able to find yourself much further where you would normally be. So that is so good, because it's about victory, and some kind of wish, some big. This is really deep, this is really important. Some kind of victory in your life, something really big, really huge. You will be able to realize that it's about to come closer to you, much closer. It's going to manifest much closer. This would manifest than what you would ever possibly imagine. Absolutely fantastic indeed. Okay, so now going on the very first part of November 2019, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, it is just this powerful, absolutely mind-blowing, very vavavoom-ish, harmony, vavavumish, powerful harmony that you are going to have. And this is all about this balance, celebration. You are about to get a whole new perspective with this energy, and your grounding is going to be like so strong, which means that you're going to be very brave, very powerful. Your self-esteem is going to start being very significant from the beginning of this moment in time, because the completion is going to become evident. It is all about a new option, new beginning, and follow your bliss, follow your intuition, and follow your creativity. That is going to become the part, an integral part of a spiritual journey, a rebirth, literally, which is going to bring you an unfoldment here at the beginning of November, and that is going to bring you and show you some kind of passion that is just going to beautifully keep you going. It is the realization, it's about the moderation, something that you wanted to happen and unfold much quicker, much sooner. It just took a slightly longer, so it doesn't matter. It's all about you just keep going. You're on the right track, my gorgeous bambinis and my bambinas. Mwah. Okay, but it's like all being efficient, and also something very important is going to happen with the teamwork, whether this is within the family, within the group of people, or within the team of work, at work, or whether you're having private business and it's like you do really great. It's going to be positive, it's going to be optimistic, and it's going to be rather nice outcome. And it's also going to be an important time to work with a group of people with a group of people, to work with a group of people in order to kind of sort out a certain problems, situations, negativity, and things like that. And also, just so important to follow your intuition, because you're going to come across the bizarre situation, somebody who is having a very negative effect on you, negative impact on you, some kind of like a very negative situation with somebody's very negative karma that is just going to be kind of sucking your energy out and draining your energy like a little bit like at the beginning of the November. But because you're going to be so powerful, you will be able to use the power of your mind, the power of your energy, the power of your manifestation, the power of your intuition. It's just going to be ooh la la, like oh my lord, and you're going to make a quite interesting decision. And that decision with somebody devilish, it's going to be so good. The moment of an unfoldment is going to happen then and there. And you will want to have a celebration, the reasons for celebration with the best people in your life, because this is going to be a great moment in time. The problem is going to come to an end. The conclusion is going to be very significant, and that in itself is going to inspire you, re-energize you, make you feel so much better about yourself. It's going to be the time when you're going to feel very artistic, and you're going to start feeling all these energies that were sleeping around you then and there, because that particular negative situation is coming to an end. All you need to remember, when somebody naughty, horrible, a low vibration started like to try to control you at the beginning of November, all you need to remember, just be baby, be compassionate, be optimistic, just give them completely opposite. You will see exactly what I mean. What you must not do, it would be like going back 5 steps backwards, like going back into the situations that you've already been through, going backwards with your own spiritual journey and with your karma. You don't want that. So in order to prevent that, you just kind of be very compassionate. So if someone is horrible, you're like, hello darling, how are you? You be nice. And this is exactly what you're going to do. Through your own compassion, you're going to kind of come on top of this particular situation. And this is so good, because not only this is going to be an integral part of your karma and spiritual journey, you're going to skip 5 parts indeed, but you're also going to end up with a couple of choices, the contemplation here, but the good contemplation. And that in itself is just going to make you realize, well, you know what, I might as well just go for it, basically. And this is the part of the competition that you will be. The part of the challenge is to be part of the competition, and that in itself is just going to trigger something in you and make a very strong connection with your childhood. And also, believe me or not, the happy times in childhood is going to start becoming significant here, because an element of your childhood that was bringing you lots of happiness that you left over there, you go back there, you take it, you bring it back. Not only this is going to refresh your life, refresh your happiness, but it's also going to help you with a certain problem. It's going to bring you an insight in this situation. Ooh la la. As I said, it's all connected, because by the time we get to the mid part of November, it is the whole new determination that you are going to have, bravery that you wouldn't normally have if you didn't kind of go through these steps in particular. And this is going to make you like quite a little bit indecisive, and that is just going to be so good, because whatever situation you go for, indecisiveness, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, some really big steps stage. This is when it's going to start happening. Big unfoldment, mind-blowing stage. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be beautiful. This is going to be so spiritual. A breath of a fresh air here. You are going to start indeed. It's to do with a very big process, very long process that you've been waiting for this particular point. Is the wish. One particular option, one particular wish is going to have a mind-blowing unfoldment here, and it's going to provide you with an opportunity as well to make a certain judgment. So in order for you to move on, go through it, go with it, go for it, you're just going to need to make a certain judgment, and you are going to. This is going to be good. It's going to be an enlightening moment in time for you, and it's going to be so good. At the same time, homecoming time. Very important when it comes to relationships, family, friends, people in your life. Absolutely fantastic. And also big change is going to be connected to the home, but the good change, good news, it's going to become a relevant part of your family, immediate family. Someone is going to have a really good news here as well, and that is going to be so good because it's a lot to do with their own progress and things like that. Absolutely remarkable indeed. This in itself, it's just going to be so good because you're going to be very creative. Each step as it goes by, you will be more creative, and this is just going to be confirming to you things at the same time. You're going to discover something about yourself, rediscover something about yourself, and it's going to shake you up so beautifully. It is all about the success that you're going to have, not only when it comes to finances, like not worrying about certain things, but also when it comes to the certain liberation. My Lord, by the time you get to the last part of November, this is all about the liberation, because you're going to have a certain liberation. You're going to have a certain freedom. This is just going to give you so much power. This is going to refresh you. This is going to re-energize your way of thinking. When you sleep, you will be able to kind of have more significant dreams. You will be able to attach, to your spirituality. You will be able to meditate and get so much more out. You will be able to ground yourself really quickly. There is just so much that you're going to be able to get out of it. But by the time you get to the last part of November, it is just a certain decision that you're going to make out of this particular situation, and this is going to be so good. And the decision that you're going to make out of this beautiful liberation, it's all going to be so beautiful. You're going to reach an important stage, and it's all about your practicality, security, and it's all about a new beginning, and it's all about going on the whole next stage of your life. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And also an authority figure, someone is going to come through and tell you something really beautiful. You will do so well on the certain project that you were working on, and this is going to come through directly through some kind of authoritative person. Indeed, this is an important moment in time when it comes to joy, family, connection, reconnection, but also most certainly challenge that you took on like at around the mid-November. Now this is going to become very evident and very strong and very powerful moment in time at the end of November. Now this is all going to happen here, and that is going to be so good because it's going to help you to reflect in a certain way. You will want to reward yourself. There is a nice reward that you're going to do. There is like a bit of a pampering, like a luxurious pampering that you're going to be thinking about, like maybe little holidays to go away or go somewhere, change the scenery. It's going to be important because as soon as you do it, it's going to be better because this energy is so highly spiritual throughout November. So whether you make a journey, like whether you book a journey in November and then you go 6 months later, or whether you go in November, it doesn't matter as long as the energy of the particular November is actually connected to it. So you can make it happen by making a trip or journey within this month. And then what it happens is you make a strong connection with your spirit guides, and then they provide you with an option, an idea. When you go there, you change the scenery, you change energy, you change dimension, you change direction, then you just end up with a new idea. And this is exactly the option that you could have. On another hand, it's so good because the recognition that you're going to have, it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing for you, and that in itself is going to be a good moment in time when it comes to control over situations, strength, courage, self-esteem, confidence, power. Absolutely fantastic. This is going to be amazing because it's all about something new coming in, something new coming forward, and also most importantly, the whole new inspiration and potential that you are going to have. And there is also going to be the realization that there is some kind of part of your life that is coming that you're going to need to kind of deal with, and you're going to need to be really responsible. Some kind of evidence is going to happen here. So that in itself is just going to give you a little food for thoughts, and that in itself is just going to surprise you. Not surprise you, but it's just going to remind you about a certain stage in your life which is about to unfold at some point. But this is just something that is completely normal, and this is something that is just part of our life. This is something that is just part of our spiritual journey, but it's so much to do with our people in our lives and things like that, basically. But the bottom line is that the end of November is most certainly going to give you a wonderful option. Not only option to kind of go for it, but also it is going to be the idea, it is going to be realization. This is going to lead towards like one of the most powerful rebirths of your life you ever had, because the actual option that you will have would not happen at any other month, or you wouldn't be able to get it like this, feel it like this, sense it like this. But because you went through so much, and by the time you get to the end of November, this is going to be an absolutely mind-blowing time of your life, an adventure, but a good adventure. Very exciting indeed. Okay. Now, my gorgeous aquamarinis, I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you that are actually in relationship, and this is for November. This is for November 2019. So for you, my gorgeous aquamarinis, those of you that are in relationship, this is like really important moment in time. Right now, as we speak, there is something very significant going on in between you two. Right now, as we speak, there is some kind of change happening in between you two, but it's not necessarily, it's not a bad change, it's not a negative change, but it's a very vibrant change. It's a very important and significant change, which means that lots of your energy was projected towards maybe different things. Like in the last 5 or 6 months, maybe you didn't have that much time to kind of devote to your partner. Maybe you didn't have that much time to spend together. Maybe something was making you a little bit stroppy. Maybe something was affecting you that you couldn't kind of have a balance with your partner. It's just important because now whatever is happening right now, it is just going to be good, because it's going to rejuvenate your energy. You're about to discover and rediscover very interesting things about yourself and about each other. Even if you know each other for a really long time, there is always room for improvement when it comes to discovering certain things, because there's something very interesting that you are going to actually discover about your partner, but also, their capability, their power, how amazing they are, how significant they are. And these feelings are going to bring another feelings of rejuvenation when it comes to your love, when it comes to your Valvumish feelings. The bottom line is you are going to have a quite nice surprise about your partner, but it's going to be good because it's going to help you and see something that they're able to do, something that they're so amazing, they're so capable, they can do so much, for example. But there is always going to be the room for improvement, because you're going to be surprised, but it's going to be really, really good surprise indeed. On another hand, you are going to have some kind of travel connection very strong this month, but also you are most importantly going to connect like you've never connected before, and also you're going to make a very important decision. Very important decision. And it's going to be good indeed. Only the couples who understand each other can make this decision. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle these cards. Yep. Interesting, the same card quickly flipped out. Okay, so now I'm just going to basically shuffle these cards, and I'm going to connect to those of you that are single and ready to mingy. Do you know what I can say here, yeah? Stranger in the night, aquamarini in the morning, na 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 na. Stranger in the night, aquamarini in the morning. Naughty. No, I can see you flirting. I can see you being super radiant. I can see you being super sexy. I can see you being super vavavumish indeed. I can see you meeting all sorts of people. This is going to be a powerful month when it comes to your own radiance, as I said before, and that particular radiance is also going to give it a whole new perspective, but also especially when it comes to you being in touch with people who you really fancy, people who you really like. They will be responding this like so much, so quickly throughout this month. But there are going to be lots of people that you're going to kind of enjoy really like a flirting with, enjoy like having a great time. You're going to discover so much about yourself. This month is going to be very, very deep and very important and very spiritual when it it comes to meeting certain people, not just necessarily lovers and stranger in the night, but when it comes to meeting certain people, meeting people in general that are later going to become an integral part of our spiritual journey. So therefore, you will be meeting people that are going to be very important when it comes to you and when it comes to your karma. And this is when it gets interesting, because at the same time, you are going to be around this particular person when they're going to be, so much is going to be happening, there are going to be lots of people around, it's going to be quite busy, and this is when this person is going to come through forward. This is going to happen at around the end of November indeed, but it's going to be an important moment in time, because as soon as you see this person, there's going to be a connection in between you two, an absolutely amazing connection. You will not even need to say anything to each other. You will just know by the looks, by the energy, by the power that you're both going to project. Okay, an important moment in time, because this person is going to be different, very spiritual, very beautiful, very successful, very powerful in many different ways, and it is going to manifest it around the time when you're going to be like kind of focusing on a certain success, or you'll be dealing with some kind of negotiation or something, but you are at the same time also going to be enjoying yourself. My gorgeous aquamarinis, be prepared to be swept off your feet, because once you meet this one, everything is going to change, my babies. Everything is going to change. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love you all to bits. I'm sending you brightest blessing, lots of love, healing and light to every single one of you. Okay, my gorgeous aquamarinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.